We are going to be learning how to draw our head with the correct proportions. Remember, proportion is how big something is compared to the rest of the whole. So if we were talking about the eye, we want to make sure our eye is the correct size in relation to the rest of our face. So when we're drawing our face, we want to start with our head, and a great way to start drawing that oval shape is to think about how wide do I want it, and remember it's going to be a little longer from the top to the bottom than it is from the sides. So I'm going to make little notches from the sides and then at the top and the bottom. And you can always, I'm drawing with Sharpie, but you're going to be drawing with pencil. So if you decide that those notches aren't quite right, you can erase and try again. So now that I have my notches, I'm going to connect them with a curved line. If you draw a straight line from notch to notch, then it's not going to be an oval, it's going to be what shape? A diamond. And you don't want a diamond, you want an oval. So we're going to make curved lines to connect. Now, I'm going to draw my neck, and neck lines are going to go straight down on both sides, and then they're going to go straight out. A lot of the time, people want to draw like a short line, and then before they even get out past their head, they want to go down. But shoulders go out past your head, and then they curve down. So more than likely, if your head's large on this paper, you're not even going to see where your shoulders curve down. They're just gonna go straight off the edge. And then you can make a curved line for where your shirt is. Now, we are going to be making some very light lines. So if you have a hard time making a light line, what I would do is I would pick the pencil up by the very end. And we are going to be making a line through the middle of our face. So if you have a hard time finding that middle, what you can do is put your finger and your pencil at the very ends and bring them together to find that middle. And we're going to be making the middle with a very light line. So I'm going to make a horizontal line halfway through my face. Horizontal is like the sunset, like where the sky meets the ground, it's horizontal, and a vertical, very light, all the way halfway through my face. Vertical is like where a cliff goes up the mountain. It's vertical, straight up and down. Okay, so that gives us the very middle of our face. And this is going to tell us where our eyes go. So if our eyes are right on that line, you can find even closer where they are by finding the middle, from the very middle of your face here, going from here into the middle of there. That's where your eye will be, and over here, from the middle of your face here to this edge, come in and here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pick my Sharpie back up so you can see, is we are going to make a curved line, kind of like a sad face, if we were drawing a sad face line. And so to draw these proportionally, we don't want them to be too big. If we were fitting a bunch of eyes across here, we would want one to fit in the middle of these two, of our two eyes. We would want one to fit in the middle, and then we would want about another one to fit on each side. So they're actually going to be smaller than you would think. So I want to think about one eye fitting in the middle. So I'm going to start it here, and I'm going to draw a sad face. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to draw another sad face right over that dot that I made. And then I'm going to continue that almond shape for my eye with a sad or a happy face right underneath. And it should be a kind of like a football shape. If it turns into a circle shape, It's because you're making your curve just a little too wide, like a little too high. So erase and then try making it just a little more like a bridge. Okay, so we have our two almond shapes. When you're finished with those, you can put your eyeball in the middle. So your eye, like the iris, the part that's colored, wouldn't completely show. You would just have where you see like the curve of it. It wouldn't be like a circle. So you think about the curve of it. So I'm gonna make a little curve here and here. So you're thinking about it like part of it is hidden behind your eyelid. I'm going to make another curve here and here. And then we want to do our pupil. Our pupil is going to be in the center. And that pupil is black. That's where the light goes into our eyes. And if you want, you can make another curved line up here for your eyelid. And if you want to add eyelashes, they would start on that line. They don't start on the top line, they start on that middle line there. And eyelashes curve. They get smaller as they go towards the inner part of your eye. They get longer towards the outside. So small, longer towards the outside. And then you could even add some bottom ones if you want. They're teeny tiny. Okay, so we have our eyes. Now for our nose, I'm gonna go back to my pencil because I'm gonna be making more light lines. We're gonna go from that center line again and from our chin this time, and we're gonna come together to find the middle, and we're gonna make another horizontal, that means across, going across from side to side, very light line. You're gonna be erasing this, so you don't want it to be too dark. And that's gonna tell us where our nostrils go. So our nostrils are going to be two curved lines, and usually I make them to where they are right below that eye line. So if you want to make like a very light line straight down from there so you can tell where they should go, and then make a curve here on top of that horizontal line. Make a line straight down here so that you can see, and then make another curved line on top of that horizontal line there. Now, our nostrils are not done. We have holes where our nose goes in, but you can't quite see those. So what I do is I make a line that goes across like that. And then for the curve of your nose, it goes just a little curved, not a whole lot. In fact, it goes almost straight up, and then it curves at the top towards your eyebrows. And this isn't completely the same for everyone's nose. I'm just showing you how to draw a very general nose. If you want to draw it a little different, you can do that. And then our nose curves up into our eyebrows. So you can draw a line straight across your eyebrows and then kind of shape that eyebrow however you want. If you have thicker eyebrows, you can draw thicker ones. If you have thinner eyebrows, you can draw thinner eyebrows. For our mouth, we're going to go again between our nose and our chin, and we're going to bring those two fingers together and make another horizontal line. very light again, because we're going to erase. And this is where our mouth is going to be. So depending on what kind of mouth you want to do, I'll just show you how to draw a closed mouth. So that's where your line would be. Just gonna draw a straight line to show me where I want my mouth. And I usually, to show me how wide I need to make it, my eye, that iris there, or I'm sorry, my pupil, I can draw a line, a very invisible straight line that goes straight vertical down, and that should give you a good idea how wide your mouth needs to be. So now I can make it permanent. Okay, so I have this, and then you can make that bottom lip. It needs to go from the corner, kind of like a upside down hill. And then the top lip, you have two little bumps on the top. So it needs to start in the corner, make one little bump, start in the other corner, and make another little bump that meets in the middle. Okay, and that's pretty much our face. So we're gonna move on to our ears. And we can find where our ears are based on the lines we already have. So we use this line that we have for our eyes and the line that we have for our nose. And that's gonna tell us where our ears go. So we use that. I'll use my Sharpie so you can see. So that, and it's just gonna be a curved line that goes straight down, curve it, and go straight into your head. So for our hair, a lot of the time people want to go straight from the top of their head and then go straight down. But your hairline doesn't start at the top of your head. If you look at your friend, their hair doesn't start all the way on the top of their head. It actually starts somewhere down in this area. You can see where their hairline starts. So I'm going to start my hairline here. If you want to start it over on this side, on the right side, you could do that too. It doesn't really matter. Most people's hairline, unless you have bangs that come down like over your eyebrows, most people's hairline goes across and down to their ear, across and down to their ear. And that would be like just a very general boy haircut. If you have spiky hair, boys, you can erase this top line and just make spiky hair that comes up and over a little bit that is more full. Girls, what you can do is you can also erase this line and just make your hair more full and come down. What I do, especially if I've Sharpied and I can't erase, is I just make more lines that come down from the crown and then come down into this full, make more of a fullness down here. If your hair's curly, you can curl it out. If your hair is super short or spiky, you just make that texture, whatever texture it is you have, you just draw it. My hair is kind of wavy. Even if I straighten it, my hair is super wavy because I have curly hair. Okay, so this is a basic self-portrait. If you want to add freckles or if you wear glasses, you can go ahead and add those. If you have like a bump in your chin and you want to add that, you could add that. If there's anything else like a necklace or earrings that you want to add, you could add that. But these are the basics. So have fun, continue on, and have fun.